Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be swapping out the lens on my gauge cluster here. This is also going to be a full gauge cluster swap out video, so if you need to know either of those, stay tuned. Alright guys, so what we're doing today is we're swapping out this gauge cluster. It's got a crack in it now, and it's foggy and crappy. So we're going to swap it out. We have a new one right here. I'll show you that in a minute. So first I'm going to let you know how we remove the gauge cluster. To start off, what we're going to do, open up the door. We're going to pull down this door trim, rubber molding, because we have to get this guy out. Now this is just going to pop on out. You're going to pull it out away from the door and then pull it towards you. It'll come right out, just like that. Put that aside. Then we're going to have to move this little guy right here. He's just held in with a little clip that goes through there, down and through the vent. Another clip right here. Pull him out. Put the door trim back on. It's a little chilly today, so we'll put that back on. Shut her up. There we go. So next what we're going to do is we're going to remove the little trim piece right here. This we don't have to fully remove, we just need to get it off a little bit. So I'm just going to let it, mine's attached to, I will just take it out. So take that off. And now we need to remove this vent right here. Now this vent's a little tricky. I think I'll open the door again for this. What we're going to do is we're going to grab underneath it here, and we're kind of grab the side, and we're just going to pull it out towards us, up a little bit, now, just like that. And wiggle it on out, and there you have it. It's out. So now that we've got that whole side done, we've got to remove this side. We've got to remove this piece right here, although I'm not actually sure that's going to be necessary, but we'll do it anyways. So I've done this enough times that I can use my fingers. If you haven't done it, you might want to use a pry bar to get under the, you want to get under the lip here and pull it up, and then you're going to kind of grab this little lip behind the vents. I don't know if you can see that. You're going to grab under here and lift it up, grab right behind the vents, and just pull it out towards you. Alright, so right here we have a, I believe it's a 10 millimeter socket. Yeah, it's a 10 millimeter socket. So take that right out. There we go, that's out. And now what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to take this, give it a lift up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this little cover for the key. It just comes right out. There's no clips or anything holding it in. So we're going to remove that, and then we're going to take out the 3 screws underneath the steering wheel cover trim, steering column trim. There's one screw right here. The other 2 are here and here. So we're going to take those 3 screws out. Took a little work. That screw was a tough one. And there it is. So that screws out. These are just going to come right apart. Set to the side. We don't actually need to take this bottom one off. We can just leave it right on there. It was really just the top one that we needed to take out. Yep. So now that we've got those taken apart, what we're going to do is we're going to lift up on this guy right here. And we're going to grab just the very edge of this. Now you have to be careful. There are 2 clips behind here that are hidden that you can't see. And we want to make sure we don't break any of those. So we're going to grab it kind of on the bottom and on the top here. We're going to work our way around. There we go. Pull it right out. And there is the cluster trim. So we'll put that aside. And now we have the cluster itself, which is only held in with 1 screw. I'll show you a close-up of that. You can see it right in the top there. That's the only screw that's holding this in, supposedly. So we're going to go ahead and we'll take that screw out. Got that screw. Alright, so now for the final removal of the cluster, there are 2 clips in the back, 2 corners here, and the 1 screw on top. So all we're going to do is take that screw out, and you're just going to grab the edges here and pull it out straight towards you. Just like that. We're going to turn it sideways here. We're going to unclip the wiring harness. I do have my battery removed right now. Or not removed, but the battery is disconnected. Let me get a better look at this. There we go, right there. There we go. Now you want to be very careful with these clusters. You don't want to touch the circuit board on the back. Because if you touch the back and you shock it, it could kill all or part of the circuit. So we want to be very careful with that. But this is my old cluster. You can see it's got that crappy white stuff all over it. No idea what that is. It wouldn't even come off with plastic polish. And then we've got that crack there. So it was time for a new one. So now we'll do a little comparison. Okay, old versus new. So we have the old cluster up top here. We have the new cluster down here on bottom. I'll put them side by side for you. You can see with the new cluster, it's all black, except around the edges is gray. On the old cluster, it's gray in the middle, black around the edges. New cluster has white lighting. Old cluster has amber lighting. It has the amber lines around the edge. This one's all white around the edges. And the needles are slightly different too. Alright, so it looks like these are not interchangeable. I was hoping they would be, but something's different with the speedometer in this one, the newer version. I'm not sure what. So that's not happening. And I can't clear the codes that are on it. I believe that when it's in an accident, those codes are permanent and you can't clear them out. The mileage was going to be off, and I was hoping I could just take this faceplate off, but even then I wouldn't get the same backlighting. So I figured not much of a point in doing it. So I'm going to stick with what I got. I did replace the covers. You can see the huge difference in the covers there. That one's, nice, and this one's cracked. It's got crap all over it. That was brand new. This one has a chip down here. It's got a little tiny chip up here. It's got a crack right here at the top, but none of it's going to be noticeable when the cover's on, so it's alright with me. Basically, to swap that out, all I did was I actually removed the entire the black piece here and the clear piece, because the clear piece is very, very fragile. So for the black piece, all I had to do was pry back on all these clips here. You gotta kind of go one at a time and push this down a little bit as you go to make sure they don't snap back in. And pull that whole thing off. Here's the old one. Probably put this up on a shelf somewhere. It'll look nice on a wall. But yeah, so we'll go put this back in, make sure it works, and that'll be it. So I did not get to swap over to the newer style cluster, but I did get a lens. So you win some, you lose some. I count this as a, we'll say a half win. I fixed what I wanted to fix. I just didn't get the cooler version. It will look good on my wall. So we'll go install this and make sure it all works. Okay, so we're going to take this guy very carefully so we don't damage the circuit board. Put him in place and press him right in. The clips go right in. I'm going to grab a little bit of a rag and I'm going to clean that up. And then we'll put the car back. We'll turn the car on and make sure it works. All right, we've got the new lens in. Like I said, we didn't get to do what we wanted to. Fuel gauge looks right. Start it up. RPMs work. Looks like. Yep, we got RPMs. No trouble codes. Let's back up and pull forward. We have a speedo. Yep. There you go. I'm not really going fast enough to really get it, but we do have a speedo. So everything works. I've got a new lens. It's not what I wanted, but you know what? I'll take it. So that's it for today, guys, and I will see you later.